I get being upset at big corporations screwing customers. What I don't get is being upset at the customers. That's crazy. You bought it? And he proceeds to insult, which, shock of all shock, leads to an immediate block. What did you expect? Do you expect her to feel guilty about it? Kids who block me the second I disagreed with her? Insult is not a disagreement, you imbecile. See how I disagreed with you there? Absolutely no one in 100 comments has responded to my argument against greedy companies. Two things can be true. Nintendo is a greedy company, and you are a douchebag. That is another one of my forms of disagreement. I do not see any reason why we should antagonize people that buy games officially. All they want is to buy games and play them because the games are fun. That's really about it. That is a perfectly normal thing to do. Are you people so terminally online that you don't even recognize what normal people do? Are you so ingrained with your hatred of big corporations that you forget that normal people exist? They buy games because games are fun.
If it's not fun, why bother?
And hey, I don't like Nintendo either, but not everyone is going to join your anti-Nintendo, anti-corporation crusade, and especially not when you insult them. I hope it feels good insulting them, because that is one more person who won't support your stance. Thankfully, I don't expect you to listen or support my stance. I expect anyone else to not be like this idiot. It is interesting to find haters of big corporations taking embarrassing L's. It's usually the shills of these corporations that are doing that. PlayStation fanboys are rather desperate dunking on PC gamers, to the point where they're going so far as to say that they are not real gamers. While the PC users stop playing just to post benchmark screenshots, measuring FPS, ray tracing DLSS, and blah blah blah, the PlayStation 5 player is there, finishing campaigns, earning platinums, and having fun. So, what you're trying to say is that PC gamers are not real gamers because they don't actually play the games, they just benchmark them to measure technical performance. Yeah, I think you are confused about what tech channels and bloggers do and what actual PC gamers do. Tech channels measure game performance because that's their job. They're providing technical information for PC gamers that are actually useful for them. Also, benchmarking and measuring performance in games can be a different kind of fun in and of itself. But most PC gamers are just like console gamers, in that they play the games that they bought, not just for benchmarking. Also, using this AI-generated art is just embarrassing. The guy using the Steam shirt looks like he's locked into the game, and the PlayStation guy isn't even looking at the screen. Do you people check your posts before you post them? We got plenty more hooplas that are not gaming related, but still incredibly funny. I love this fake email thread. A few months ago, I gained access to your devices and started monitoring your online activities. No, you don't. For those of you who don't know, you can check on your Google accounts on the devices that have access to it. You can enable and disable access safely, so give that a check. I got access to hack database substack.com, where you had an account with, and easily access your email. I do hate it when data breaches happen. Check your email at Have I Been Pawned. If your email is compromised, change your passwords immediately. A week later, I installed malware on all your devices, including your phone, giving me access to your microphone, camera, keyboard, and all your data. I downloaded your photos, browsing history, conversations, and contact lists. If this person did, then they would provide evidence that they did. But since they didn't, I sure don't believe it. What I discovered: you frequently visit adult websites and watch explicit videos. And
is this the part where I'm supposed to be intimidated?
I managed to record you and created videos of you pleasuring yourself. That is inappropriate, but fortunately for me, I hate sitting in front of the computer doing the dirty business when smartphones are more than adequate to access them, so you don't have anything, dude. With a few clicks, I can share these videos with your friends, colleagues, and family, or even make them public. Go right ahead. I'll take the temporary embarrassment over paying the ransom money eternally. I can share my story, and everyone else can share my story. You're still the criminal. My proposal: transfer $1,600 in Bitcoin to my wallet and I will delete everything immediately. Nah, you're gonna keep it forever. Guys, if you get emails like this, just so you know that these people don't actually have your embarrassing data, and it is way better for your embarrassing photos to get leaked instead of being enslaved and getting shackled with paying ransom money. There is one place on Earth that has quite a lot of 18 plus content being produced: Japan. But we're not going to be focusing on their 18 plus content, we're focusing on their slightly more family friendly content. Japanese media is primarily made for the Japanese audiences in mind. The fact that overseas audiences enjoyed them is a nice little bonus. But this is not about overseas enjoyment, this is about moral outrage. Stop calling out pedophilia and misogyny, it's part of their culture! Wow, I love the absolute distaste towards Japan and anime. It's filled with misogyny and pedophilia. It's not, but thank you for sharing your straight up xenophobic mindset you got there. The quote tweet said that you shouldn't change Japanese culture and sensibilities to match ours. And that is true, we shouldn't. But Japanese culture, especially the ones that are depicted in anime, varies from media to media. To blanketly state that all Japanese media, including anime, is filled with misogyny, pedophilia, and we have to call them all out, is a straight up ignorant, xenophobic, and frankly bigoted take that a lot of Westerners don't even realize that they have. Still, thank you for letting us know how you feel anyway, bigot. I realize that Japanese media is not for everyone, but this is not how you ask for recommendations. This request might not make any sense, but what anime do you recommend to someone who hates anime? None. That request makes no sense. I do not want to put someone who hates anime to watch anime. I do not want to put someone who hates American TV to watch American TV. And I love my American TV. I can't stand most anime tropes and how they pander to fanservice crazed high schoolers. Yeah, plenty of anime are like that, but not all of them are. My favorite anime are not the super mainstream popular stuff, or the ones that you describe as having fan service crazed high schoolers. My favorite anime would probably align with what you describe as anime for someone who hates anime, but I do not hate anime. I love anime. I grew up reading Detective Conan and watching Naruto and Digimon Tamers. Maybe next time, ask for anime that don't feature the things you hate. The thing is, I'm not as much of a weeb as I might have presented myself. I love American TV shows. There are plenty that I have binged through its completion, and one that I'm binging through right now. The last manga that I read is White Tower, a manga based on a novel from the 60s that was also adapted to a K-drama, Behind the White Tower. It's the same story. The last anime that I watched was Fullmetal Alchemist Original. Great anime, but I haven't finished it yet. You think all anime is like Ikitosen or Keijo or High School of the Dead. Anime is just Japanese animation. They make way more anime that talk about way more profound stuff than high school girls fighting with their boobs and tits in their swimsuits, which are perfectly fine and valid, but it's definitely not for everyone, especially you. The least you can do is respect their existence and their fans. Asking for anime for people who hate anime is incredibly disrespectful. The people who hate anime also hate their fans. And if you genuinely want to find the anime you love, you do not want to align with the people who hate them. And finally, one hoopla about fictional characters as a tease for a couple of future videos. I don't get why this should be talked about. We really need to talk about this! Apparently we need to talk about humanoid things and how transforming them to a living being is good or bad. If a bread transforms into a humanoid bread, it seems safe, with a question mark. Is it safe or is it not? What is this sign right here for the humanoid animal? This one seems a bit weird. Bro, you just drew Judy Hopps or Lola Bunny. Do not get me started with the 18 plus content of her. Wait, that last one isn't even humanoid. It's just a human being, except it's a minor who transformed into an adult. Isn't that just called growing up? No, what the person meant was a kid transforming into an adult with special powers. So like Shazam, or my wife's childhood anime Minky Momo. This one sound bad. Wait, does it sound bad or is it actually bad? The thing is, even if it's a child transforming into an adult, they are still fictional. They are not real. And if you are gonna make a guide on what is and isn't okay to be attracted to, at least be more definitive on your stance. Let me fix this one for you. There. No question mark, no uncertainties, just plain yes. And that's all for the video today. Here's a cat. Huge thanks to all the wonderful sponsors this week. You're all fantastic. Don't forget to check out my previous videos here. Click the like button, comment, subscribe, join the YouTube membership, leave some tips, just $1 down below. And thanks for watching.